Look, it's a flood.
It's flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
No one can know. No one knows what it's like.
Yo, that song was in my head all day today.
For real?
Yes. No, and it wasn't. No. But the thing is like, it wasn't that part. It was the hard part where it was like, and if I swallow anything evil, put your finger down my throat. Yo, the Who fucking rock.
That's the Who?
Yeah.
I did not know that was
Yeah.
the Who.
No one knows what it's like.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the Who.
that's the Who.
That's crazy.
You know, I mean, like, what Who songs do you know? Do you really know any Who songs?
Are you gatekeeping me, bro?
No. I'm
okay.
I'm asking out of curiosity, and I want to enlighten, if possible.
So you know how you know the like sordid relationship me and rock music have, right?
I mean, my version with hip hop is gonna come up later in this pod.
I was gonna say it's a very like 3 a.m. Are you up kind of text. Like, you know, we don't talk. We don't really know each other's lives. It's just she comes through every now and again, and I'm like, ooh, I like your dress. Meet me in the bathroom.
All right, so there's two songs you might know.
Yo, there are people who are gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? How is Doc so like woke and so like
trashy at the same time? We'll get to that one.
It's called balance.
So, The Who, the two other songs I think you might know are one's Baba O'Reilly, Teenage Wasteland.
Yeah. That song's not called Teenage Wasteland?
No, it's not. It's called Baba O'Reilly.
I feel like we've had this discussion on the pod before.
We've not.
Go ahead.
And the other one you might know is
I totally
Pinball
know.
Wizard. He's a pinball wizard.
Those are not the same song?
No.
Damn, yo. See, that's what I'm talking about, son.
Oh, and The Who also have I can see for miles and miles. I can see for miles and miles. I can see for miles and miles and...
I feel like that has a breakdown that I might recognize, but based on...
People try to put us down, talking about my generation. That's The Who.
Okay, yeah. Yep. Somebody's dad is really happy right now. Like, yeah, man, fucking Who rock!
My dad like loved Billy Joel and classical, and that's how I learned about The Who. I'm like, my dad fucking rocks The Who? Pete Townsend is such a badass! Yo, you know he was the one that was doing the guitar stuff where he was like doing the full windmill
Yeah, I do know that.
and they were the ones that destroyed all of their gear on stage and stuff like that.
They're the ones that Almost Famous is like kind of loosely based off of.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I swear we've had this conversation on the podcast.
I think we've talked about the Who as a party, but not them musically. We've never talked about them musically.
One day we will be professional enough.
It's not worth it.
One day we will be professional enough to call ourselves a legitimate podcast. I mean, I like to think we're a legitimate podcast. It's just that if you walked into my house right now, you would not be like, oh, these guys film a podcast here every fucking week? Oh, listen to that quality audio.
Well, I actually, funny enough, when you told me when you had the flooring guy in and he saw the backdrop, and he was like, what's that for? And we're like, we record a podcast. And he's like, oh.
I mean, I guess, where else do people do that kind of stuff?
I don't know, in a studio with professional equipment.
Hi,
That's not professional equipment.
I'm Doc, and this is Ziggy, and our attitudes are rising up and crashing through. I already said who the fuck we are, and if you're not aware, This is The Flood, the show with the pop perspective.
To put the culture in context.
And we, tend to try and, I guess, make the mainstream make sense. It's not
So, you know what you
always-
should do? Keep your death threats to 140 characters or less. If we piss you off.
Always easy. It's not always
Especially when they
easy.
upped it to 280, but keep your death threats to 280 characters or less doesn't sound as good.
There's a lot going on. I mean, Space Jam 2 dropped Friday.
I'm jealous that you already watched that. I haven't gotten to watch it yet.
I had a good father-son moment with that shit, but I mean, that's what this one was for real.
Loki finished.
Yeah.
And you did watch the last episode, and we're gonna go into Jonathan Majors, because he stole that show.
I missed a perfect That's What She Said opportunity just now. I guess that's what Sylvie said. Or what Sylvie won't say. But I guess that's for you, Loki.
They also always say, love yourself!
So, we'll talk about that. We got
Britney is allowed legal representation!
We got some festival updates.
We do.
Dipset versus the Locks. Live and direct. Who for you motherfuckers post-pandemic in this bitch?
And I got some Russia or Floridas.
Russia or Florida? So, let's talk about where do you want to start?
Well, let's just give a quick Lighthouse update real quick. Last week on The Flood with Doc and Ziggy, Rachel Nichols got caught on a hot mic saying some racist shit. Can we just say racist shit?
Yeah, I don't know. There are some people who are gonna
some questionably racist shit.
Yes, there we go. Let's go questionable. It was some questionably racist things.
Because her black coworker got her job.
Got a promotion that she was gunning for, and she was, rightfully butthurt about it. But she had to make it racial. That's where it gets kind of did you have to go there with it?
So, Maria Taylor, who is fantastic at her job, by the way, as I mentioned, her contract was going to be up before the finals are even over.
Right.
Well, it now looks like she is lined up to sign with NBC Sports. You done fucked up, ESPN.
Damn, NBC Sports, huh?
You think the reason they kept Rachel Nichols is because of Diane Sawyer?
So who else is on NBC Sports, though?
I mean, I think they have, they're the channel that has the Super Bowl a lot. I think. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Who else is on NBC Sports?
Yeah,
so you don't watch NBC Sports, though?
Yeah, I know NBC is probably one of the channels.
What I'm saying is, does it really feel like that this is a good, that this is something that Maria Taylor is going to work out in her benefit? Or do you feel like she was given a choice? You know what I mean?
Was she given a bag?
Yeah, I guess, there could be that. There's always that, right? How big... The payoff must have been right, for her to leave the toxic network that...
Just like the payoff was right for Floyd Mayweather to fight Logan Paul.
What did he call that? Illegal robbery?
Yeah.
Might as well have been.
Anyway, yeah, that was some updates. It looks like ESPN fucked it up, and Maria Taylor is going to be heading to NBC Sports. Okay. And you mentioned off mic, you were like, does ESPN have a monopoly? I'm like, no, not really anymore.
It feels like it, though, doesn't it?
Because ESPN also doesn't get more than one football game every Sunday. I mean, they have Monday Night Football too, but that's only 2 football games in the week that ESPN is actually getting.
I just feel like, I guess it's part
ESPN is split on the NBA with Turner.
Okay. I guess, it just feel like part of the branding, ESPN is like the Google of sports.
I mean, Stephen A. Smith right now is the face of ESPN.
I don't know if that is a good thing. No disrespect to Stephen A. Smith.
Stay off the weed!
He's like, y'all gotta let me live that down,
Who is on crack?
It's shit like that, though. It's shit like that.
All right, I will say one of the best accounts on Twitter is Stephen A. Smith's burner account.
And what is the Stephen A. Smith burner account?
It's some fan account. I swear to, it's got to be run by like multiple people. But every single like athlete, GM, reporter, anything like that tweets out, Stephen A. Smith burner shows up with some clip of Stephen A. reacting. It's fucking great. And he doesn't miss. He never misses a tweet. He never misses so much that it's become a meme that he never misses. Like, this is a parody account followed by professional athletes.
Oh, damn.
And, like, professional media members.
Damn. It's like that?
Yeah, it has, like, 500,000 followers.
What's your favorite Stephen A. Smith burner account?
Oh, man, I always enjoy a good "Who is on crack?" or baby Stephen A. Smith memes. Those are great.
Baby Stephen? Oh, God. Oh, where they use
the baby filter?
Yeah, okay. Oh, man. So, we are sliding into festival season here. You said you got tickets lined up with...
I got tickets for the Deftones that got rescheduled to May 2022.
Damn. Well, Jay-Z...
I thought about it, though, and it kind of makes sense because not everybody's handling COVID as well as Maryland is.
That part.
And it's at least a national tour.
Yeah. And I mean, festival season doesn't really kick off probably, or isn't going to really kick off until late summer, probably, early fall, which is all late summer the way the fucking heat is looking at. Because, like, I know we don't normally talk about the weather, but my God, this fucking heat has been relentless. Y'all stay safe. This is your reminder, your daily reminder to drink water. Lots of water, especially if you sweating.
Water.
Don't ever sweat the technique, though.
Feels real good that I'm just going out and shooting. Like, I was out for an hour. It was really nice this morning. It was like low 80s, but there was a breeze.
Yeah.
So I was out for an hour, not like killing myself shooting.
Right. Just, kind of fucking around.
Yeah. And
kind of like LeBron's son in Space Jam, but we won't talk about that. Not yet.
I want your no spoiler review of it.
Okay.
Give me your no spoiler review of Space Jam.
We'll get into that a little bit later. We're talking festivals right now.
Okay. So yeah, my Deftones tickets got rescheduled until next year, and I think that's probably because like touring acts are gonna have some hesitancy.
Yeah.
Like our state's like over 70% vaccination rate. 80% vaccination rate.
Oh God.
I saw it was like Alabama and Missouri and Mississippi. They're under like 30% vaccination rate.
I can't remember who it was, but I saw somebody just cancel their whole fucking concert because one of the Brodies or crew members, tested positive for COVID. And they were like, yo, look, we're not fucking around when it comes to this shit. And who knows if they're vaccinated or not. It's still a decent amount of the country that is absolutely refusing to get the vaccinations. But then there's, this disturbing rise in infection rates because of the Delta variant. And it's, oddly enough, the people who are, I don't know, you could say this is conspiracy, just like I can't say that for certain that the Earth, the planet that we are on, is round. I'm just assuming that it's round like a giant meatball, right?
Have you heard the reason?
No, but what I'm saying is the overwhelming amount of people dying from COVID, according to the numbers right now, are people who aren't vaccinated.
It's like 99.5%. Like,
so maybe
higher.
Get vaccinated, and at worst, you get a one-way ticket off of this hell ride. At best, you get some superpowers. Thanks, government.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can get my keys to stick to my chest.
See, Magneto? Look.
I walk through electronic doors and still just pretend I am Magneto.
The mRNA, what they're not telling you is the mRNA that they are injecting into certain peoples is activating the X gene in selected individuals to cause a crisis that will disturb the global economy and will force the reptile peoples out of hiding, and we will then finally get them to admit to fucking kids. Duh. So Jay-Z's Made in America tour.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's not underway. It is September 4th.
Lizard people are fucking kids!
September 4th this year.
I don't even know where you started with that.
It's set to...
I love how you're just trying to, like, breeze right past this. Like, I'm not just gonna be stuck on the fact that you...
The 10-year anniversary of Jay-Z's Made in America tour. And it's happening at the Benjamin Franklin Parkway in Philadelphia. And so far, the lineup is stacked. You've got artists from Lloyd Banks, the whole Griselda lineup.
Woo!
Young Thug, Pierre Bourne. Yo, I mean, ASAP Ferg, Moneybagg Yo, Freddie Gibbs, Tinashe, Bobby Shmurda.
He's back!
Meg Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, Justin Bieber, Lil Baby.
I swear to God, for every single Bobby Shmurda set, they should have somebody up top. And he walks out and he grabs the mic and he just throws up his hand and the hat drops.
Yo, this shit's gonna get played out so quick. I mean, look, it's gonna be hype though, right? Like, especially after
He's gotta do it once.
Everybody feel like Bobby Shmurda right now because we all just got out, right? Like, literally, we all just got out, right?
Bobby Shmurda is the avatar of 2021.
So if you vaccinated, go get your Bobby Shmurda on. You know, get your Casamigos, get your Tito's, you know, however.
Just don't get locked up for 7 years.
Just don't get locked up on a Friday.
Or your day off.
Or your day off. Don't call out of work and then go to the ball game and then go viral. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, so like these concerts is looking hot, and like I said, now that we are all out and about, even the versus battles, like the IG versus battle,
yeah,
Dipset.
The first concert. Nope, never mind.
No.
It's not the first concert back in Madison Square Garden, but this is the first versus that they are going to be doing.
IRL, my nigga.
At an arena. Like, the Gucci Jeezy one was at a club.
Right. Well, okay, yeah. So, I mean, and you brought up an interesting point. Like, I hope because they have this huge venue space that they will at least perform some of the songs and not just sit and listen to them shits with everybody. You remember this shit? You remember? Listen. We did that.
Yeah.
Remember we did that?
In 1994?
Remember how we had you like, yeah. And this shit is getting heated. I mean, Styles P is already like, you know, cracking jokes talking about,
oh yeah,
can't nobody say Dipset winning lyrically. And I'm like, damn, yo, you ain't had to go there. And then like Jim Jones is out there talking smack for Dipset, you know what I mean? And it just, I don't know. I might watch this one.
Styles P is definitely one of the strongest out there when it comes. Like he's got clout when he steps behind the mic.
Him and Jadakiss is like the Batman and Robin of fucking rap, yo. Like they literally like the best tag team, one of the best tag team, if not the best tag team duo. When they go bar for bar, it's fucking insane. Yo.
Who would you say are the other two? The other duos.
Method and Red.
That was what I was thinking of.
Andre and Big Boy.
Boom. Yeah.
Huh?
2 Live Crew.
Well, yeah. Dre and Snoop.
Yeah.
I mean, off the top of my head, right? Like, that's who I'm coming with off the top. Like, Drake and Wayne.
I was gonna say Kanye and Jay.
Ooh, Watch the Throne was tough, though.
Yeah.
Watch the Throne was tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely thrilled we're getting concerts back.
Putting on for New York. And speaking of putting on for New York, have you seen the Biggie Smalls Budweiser Tallboy can?
What?
In partnership with the Wallace estate. So,
Okay.
So, Biggie's mama is out for the bag again. And this time she has partnered with Budweiser. And they have put together...
You think Christopher Wallace is I feel like he's fine with that. He's like, I'm still providing for my mom.
That's when I was listening to the interview or I guess when I was reading the article. I listen to articles because I work and I have to multitask, guys. When I was listening to the article, that's what his mother said, essentially, was that I feel like Biggie would appreciate this, and this is something that he would agree with. So, as you can see, they have plastered this man's face all over a tall boy of Budweiser, reading Notorious B.I.G. in iconic Budweiser font with, the New York skyline in the background, specifically Brooklyn, if I remember correctly.
I know Jalen and Jacoby are trying real hard to build up the movement to get Biggie Smalls' statue outside of Barclays.
Well, not only are they doing this can, but they will also be holding a celebration memorial concert for Biggie Smalls in a park somewhere in Brooklyn, August 19th, in Prospect Park. They will be holding a concert in memory of Biggie. So, I don't know where the funds for all that shit is going. It looks like the concert will include The Lox and Lil' Kim and maybe even Busta Rhymes. So,
ooh,
it could be a hot concert. I don't know. If you in the area, maybe get tickets for that shit. I don't know if you gotta buy a can to get tickets, but hey. Oh no, it says the concert is free to those age 21 and over. Tickets will be, I don't know. Look, check it out though. Maybe.
Get in the wait line. Have cash in your wallet, but be pleasantly surprised when you don't need to use it.
At first I felt like this was a who the fuck asked for this.
Yeah, I can get behind it. I don't understand why he's on Budweiser cans, but I guess.
I still don't know if I can get behind it, but I mean...
I don't know if I can either.
Here we are. Here we are, 2021. It is currently July 18th as we record. MTV has announced that they will be rebooting Cribs. How you feel about that?
I'm trying to think of some celebrities whose Cribs I would want to see.
Well, right off top, I can tell you we have Rick Ross, Big Sean, Tinashe, I think they said Post Malone, and of course probably, I don't know, like Quavo, Offset. I'm sure we'll see lots of other people. I
want to see
lots of other people.
I want to see Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's house.
Ooh, okay. I'm trying to think.
Also, Jimmy Butler's house, just because he's really, really weird. He used to have a giant aquarium. Like, he had an apartment in Chicago, right? And the aquarium took up, like, a legitimate third of the apartment.
Niche aquarium. Were they wall aquarium? Was it a wall aquarium?
It was not only like a wall, it was like separating wall aquarium.
Okay.
So like you would walk in and there would be this aquarium and then you'd have to like make a right and then this aquarium is still on. It was a huge fucking aquarium.
What is the biggest flex you can remember from MTV's Cribs? The original MTV Cribs.
The fact that that the Gorillas made one.
I don't remember that one.
There is an MTV episode, MTV Cribs episode of the Gorillas.
Who had the house whose roof like pulled back for the fucking like pool or what? Wasn't it like Ice-T or somebody like that?
Yeah, that sounds like that.
Yo, and I was like, what the fuck? But nigga, did your roof just fucking retract? Like,
But yeah, no, like the gorillas one was like wild. They knocked on the door, and Murdoch answered the door, and he's like, "Oh yeah, well, welcome." And you see,
what the fuck?
no, seriously, like,
Hold on, I'm looking. We're looking at it now. If I can, I'll green screen it up here in the background, so you can see.
but yeah, this is like an actual thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and this sloppy nigga just walking around. This kind of like reminds
Oh,
me
Murdoch is an asshole.
what Red Man's would have been like. That was also.
You know
like,
they have a
the
whole
biggest-
story narrative to them, right?
Yes. That's what the whole like Plastic Beach. Each album has like a whole. Yeah, it's dope as fuck. It's artistic as
One
shit
of my favorite things.
without being pretentious. Right?
Yes, one of my favorite things about it is, you know, the Stylo music video where Bruce Willis is chasing after him in the car? So, that's not Bruce Willis playing anybody. Somehow the gorilla's pissed off actual Bruce Willis.
So they did something that. So was this like a Joe Budden-esque thing, and they just actually got him on tape chasing them?
I think so. I would guess, but I know.
Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember when Joe Budden went viral for chasing those kids down the street because they were like throwing rocks at his car or something?
Oh, no. It wasn't like that. It was,
okay.
They were driving down the desert road, and then Bruce Willis shows up behind them in his car, and he pulls out this, like, fucking deagle, and he's just like, boom, boom.
Okay.
Meanwhile, 2D is, like, shuddering in the back seat. Murdoch is, like, acting like a giant asshole, and then, Robo Noodle is, like, spazzing out driving the car.
So who's somebody else you would want to see in the new MTV? Do you think, first and foremost, let's roll it back a little bit. Do you think that this is something that can sustain itself in today's culture and climate?
And maybe, like, 2-minute, like, snapshots, because everybody has a micro home. Celebrity micro home! Well, that's the room!
I was thinking like an Instagram Reels worth. So like 8-minute, like, cause I mean even this one with.
I don't want to watch like 25 minutes of just straight up like Post Malone flexing on me. I'm just like, dude, you look like the guy I would buy mids from in 8th grade. Not 8th grade.
In 8th grade. Look at you degenerate.
It wasn't 8th grade. I just picked up a really innocent year. I don't know.
Anyway, I mean, the one, so, like, I think, I remember correctly, they usually did, like, 3 or 4 people an episode, right?
Yeah.
So, that means, like, each one was probably, like, somewhere between 7 to, like, 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I could see, I wouldn't want a lot of it. I would want it to just be, like, shorts.
Yeah.
Dropped.
So, like, Instagram,
Like, on a streaming, I don't want them to just be, like, on my feed.
Right.
Like, I want them to do a streaming service, but not have, like, 30-minute up. Just be, like, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes.
So, damn, now I have to, like, I can't remember where this is going to be a feature on. I feel like it's going to be on Paramount Plus. Yeah, it's a Viacom thing, so it's probably going to be on Paramount Plus. I think that it will sustain itself because we still have that. I mean,
Lust to live vicariously through people.
through celebrities, right? Like, and it's not going anywhere, especially as the wealth divide continues to grow even steeper and starker and darker and deeper and danker. I'm sorry, what happened? Anyway,
Lower.
even as the wealth divide continues to
And
grow,
sunken place.
people still lust after luxury. Peep the alliteration. Anyway,
Reverting back to the daily program, stuck in their ways. Lust.
both of us enjoyed Too Hot to Handle, a show where they are not fucking.
I couldn't tell you a single fucking scene or any, like, detail outside of, like, Cam's D20 tattoo.
No.
But it was fun to watch.
Pure escapism, right? And that's all MTV Cribs ever was, is watch these celebrities and houses that they rented, because come on. I mean...
Alright, Gabby U and Dwayne Wade's house would be that nice.
And Rick Ross does own mad properties now. And I mean, times are different, right? Which is why I would love to see, like, a Redman reboot. Like, let's go to Redman's crib now. Is he still living in the same townhouse in New Jersey? Is he still keeping it funky fresh like he was? Or has he grown? You know what I mean? Has his character developed as a person? Because that's what we're here for, right? Right? You know, that's what Loki was all about, was character development.
Well, we'll get to that, but...
that's a teaser for you. Break!
No! I'm pissed and I'm not even being clever. Oh, god damn it.
Uh-oh.
Fuck Thassa's Oracle. Fuck that card. Alright, I'm done. I just needed to get that off my chest.
Break! Yes.
Yeah, if you hear me hiccuping, it's just natural. Just go with it.
Yeah, it's fine.
We'll let it ride. So why don't you tell the people about yourself a little bit, Mark?
I found you initially from your serving stories, and I didn't even know you were into magic. Hearing your serving stories, and then you started to open up when you were like, I started from the bottom, now I'm here. I think I remember seeing like you at one point were like struggling to find a place to stay.
The truth of it is a few years ago, my wife and I were in pretty rough straits. We have a son. Babies are nothing but drains on your bank account. We had to pawn my wife's grandmother's jewelry and the gold necklace that my grandmother, who passed away as well, got me. We were in really rough shape.
Now you're flipping $90,000 collections. How do you get there?
You know, started as a busboy, finished as a manager and a fine dining server, and went to school, but it's hard to beat the money that you make when you're a server. So
yeah, I mean, especially if you're good at it.
Look, talk to him, let him know. It ain't easy, but you did it.
But, you know, that's what happens when...
I was once in a position so bad, I went to go work for a TGI Fridays. I just needed a job. And the guy told me, I can't hire you because you're too overqualified. Because I just came from a fine dining establishment, and I was like, dude, I just need a job. Like, I am asking you for a job. And he's like, no, because, you know, you have certain processes that you understand, and we don't do that here at Friday, so I'm sorry, but you have too many qualifications. I was like,
sorry,
rock and roll.
You are too good for TGI Fridays.
That's insane.
That's
such a great compliment, though.
I guess when you need a job, it's not really a great compliment.
No, not at all.
But in hindsight, when you look back at it, man, I'm too good for TGI Fridays. This is great.
Worked there, and my brother was like, yeah, my manager was like, there's no way I'm hiring that guy. Like, he'll try to run the restaurant. I was like, okay.
Damn. Well, hey, look, it all worked out in the best for you, right?
Somebody...
Look at where you sitting at now.
Yes.
Sounds like that manager is a little insecure with himself.
Nothing but views.
Yeah, I guess, you know, got little dick syndrome, but that's fine. Some people are not growers or showers.
Tiny dick attitude.
That's it, you know, and that's fine. All dicks are beautiful, though. Let's remember that. All dicks are beautiful.
Yeah, we won't dick shame here on the Flood podcast.
Except for that manager's. His dick was the Quasimodo of dicks.
Ew!
Yeah.
Small and hunchbacked.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it has the curve. Looks like a goose looking to the side. You know, you just don't need it.
Or a boomerang, but bent like to the left.
It's absolutely horrifying.
This sounds like something in a Will Ferrell movie.
This sounds like something that goes on in my head regularly.
That actually brings me to a good point. I know you've been writing about magic for a while. Articles on Channel Fireball to erotic fan fiction and 280 characters or less.
Oh, yeah.
And what I want to know is why Gavin Verhey hasn't given you a job.
You know, they're afraid of me at the end of the day. The truth of it is I was a writer for Star City Games for like a good 6 years, and TCG Player for about a year before that. Yeah, they're like the bigger sites, and I was read up there in terms of, you know, people that had large fan bases. And Wizards never gave me a damn thing. They never sent me gifts or... Listen, I'm bitter.
But still, it's like, what the fuck? You know,
that's a whole nother thing with
I'm
Wizards.
sure you bring in a whole different, like, you know, kind of clan and market with you. So it's like, you know, if you out there and you bring in attention like the rest of these clowns are, why shouldn't you get your comeuppance?
Well, I mean, Wizards has been taking advantage of this system for how long at this point? Ever since Arena, they realized they can get free marketing out of these content creators that they don't even have to support.
So this kind of goes into, like, my first question. What brought you to Magic as opposed to, like, any other tabletop game? And how did you get into trading for profit?
So I started playing Magic back in 1999. I was getting ready to get heart surgery, and I couldn't play sports anymore. So I needed something that sort of filled the void, and I saw these two kids playing it in the library at the middle school I went to, and I was like, I'll just take a gamble and see what this is. And
yeah.
I kind of got enamored with the game and started playing it and got very competitive with it, and, you know, won some pretty good tournaments.
I mean, you're a former athlete, so you're a natural competitor.
I was a middle school athlete, so what am I going to do? Like, I'm not, you know.
Hey, anybody who plays some sports has got to have some
14-year-old me playing wiffle ball, you know, it's like, what was I really
Hey, don't do the wiffle ball. I got invited to play a league this weekend.
I would go. That shit's fun.
It is.
But,
unless somebody knows how to actually throw that curveball.
Yeah, you got that wicked with the ball with the holes in it. But I started trading for profit back in probably 2011 when I realized I had a lot of cards that people wanted, and I liked money. So I could, I could trade up on things. Like if I had a $50 card, I would have them trade me like $60 and stuff. And even though it's minuscule, and you're making $10 profit, you're doing that, you know, 300 times in a month, and all of a sudden you're making $3,000 a month, and you're starting to notice your life is changing a little bit.
So time period wise, this is right around the birth of Modern?
This would be right before the birth of Modern. This was back during Old Extended. I think Modern was like 2013 or 14, and this for me would have been around 2011.
I started in 2010 or 11. I remember my first standard was Zendikar Scars. But
that was a good time.
Yeah. That actually was one of the other things, is you were talking about flipping things that were $50 for $60.
Yeah. What do you think gives Magic, like, I guess, its value? What do you think is the draw behind Magic the Gathering as opposed to any other tabletop game?
If you don't say it, Mark, I'll say it after you're done talking.
Sure. For me, though, it's escapism. I think for people that want to get rid of the daily doldrums of work and school, they escape into Magic, which is a very social game. It's a competitive game. It's a casual game. It offers you just about every type of avenue that you could want with the game. For me, it's that form of escapism that it offers people.
Okay.
The thing that I said that would still give it value is the reserved list.
Fucking piece of shit.
You want to tell us about the reserved list? I don't actually know the history and everything of it as well as somebody who has a significant financial interest in it. Can you explain what the reserved list is and why it exists?
Yeah, the reserve list is a bunch of sets that Wizards basically said they will never print again. And they decided not to print them again because there was a set called Chronicles. And Chronicles dropped the value of a lot of cards. And this is years ago, so remember, this means like a $20 card became like a $5 card.
Ooh.
So collectors were really, really up in arms about the fact that their collections were not worth money.
Right.
Or worth significantly less money. So Wizards made a verbal promise, not even a written promise, a verbal promise, that they would no longer print sets that are from a certain time period all the way back.
Okay. Giving them like a vintage quality.
Yeah, so the reserve list is a giant piece of monkey shit.
Yeah,
it's the worst thing that's going on in Magic, and this is coming from somebody who has about $450,000 in reserve list cards between power, dual lands, previous sets, non-English white border, black border, signed, like almost $500,000 in cards that are on that list. I think it absolutely screws up Magic. It doesn't give people the ability to play with every card that they should be able to play with. And to the people that go, well, Magic's a luxury hobby, and Magic, you have to pay for it if you want it. Fuck off. It's a card game.
Okay.
You know, like, somebody should get the enjoyment of playing a Grim Monolith. You know, and not have to pay $400 for it.
So that gets into a couple of my other questions. I was gonna ask, one, do you consider yourself more of a competitive player or a collector? And two, do you feel like Magic is becoming a competitively play-to-win kind of game?
Magic has always been a competitively play-to-win game.
Pay-to-win.
Pay-to-win.
If you say pay-to-win.
Yeah, my bad.
To an extent, with Magic Arena being one of the forefronts of Magic's face, it requires a lot of money to play that. It's not like you can go out there and just trade for cards, or in other games how you can like dust your superfluous cards and use the resources to make other cards. So for that respect, I wouldn't say it's pay to win, but it definitely helps if you have money, and that's the same in paper, especially in formats like Vintage and Legacy and Modern. The decks are metrically more expensive.
Okay.
So, you know, it's definitely gonna cost you more to play the decks you want, or the decks that are good, for that matter.
I mean, I told you before, I have cards in my commander deck that are worth more in their weight than plutonium.
So would you say that the direction that the company is heading, though, makes it a pay-to-win kind of game?
The direction the company is heading in is more casual friendly, because that's what sells money. That's what sells cards, and that's what makes money.
Right. So you think they're making it more of an
sort of changed that dynamic.
Okay.
Wizards of the Coast recently, with the Secret Lairs, crossed the Rubicon, and now we can play Rick Grimes as a commander.
Yep.
How do you think this bodes for the health of Magic, with your financial opportunity that comes with it, but also as a player? To me, Magic's its own thing. Like, yeah, you can make all of these different planes, but they're still, like, fucking Magic.
Yes. If 1,000 Walking Dead fans decide to play Magic because of that, it's awesome to me. If, you know, with the Godzilla cards, I saw an influx of people that were buying my cards that were like, I don't play Magic, I just want all these Godzilla cards, like, because they're cool. I want to put them, like, in a showcase or put them in a giant frame, and, you know.
Interesting.
So we disagree on that one. But then again, I'm a crotchety old fuck.
I told you were being a gatekeeper, yo. So...
Oh, that's fine. I hate everybody, so it's like, you know, I understand being crotchety. It's fine.
And this is just a reminder that Hasbro, the parent company of Wizards of the Coast, has posted record profits this year.
Look, when you introduce, you know, franchises like Godzilla and The Walking Dead, to a market who may have otherwise kind of like ignored this kind of a game, way smart, like, business-wise.
Okay, so Mark, I used to work at MTG First, when it was first coming into form, and I basically got a crash course in economics and finances. So, in your experience recently in dealing during COVID, the nostalgia bubble, boom. Logan Paul opens a fucking box of Pokemon cards, and then people are bull rushing Walmart.
Yep.
All of the cardboard gets sold out. Wizards, during COVID, prints multiple sets designed to be scarce. You walk into Walmart, all of the shelves are bare, except for all of the Strixhaven packs and the D&D packs. What the fuck? There's a lot to unpack there, but how do you believe these events affect your business personally?
Not to sound insensitive, but COVID was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you. I told you before, that Yawgmoth's Will I sold you, I bought it for $250 during COVID.
Real talk.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it.
It became one of those things where, at least for Magic and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! and sports cards and games like that, the bubble erupted with those games. And, you know, especially sports cards, you saw cards going for... that used to be like $500 or $600 going for $15,000, $16,000. You know, same with Pokemon, especially.
I paid my car insurance with the Charizard.
Ruined it for everybody. A shadowless Charizard that used to be worth, $400 or $200 now is, depending on the condition, worth $700 to $1,200.
That's
so it definitely, people got a lot of time to reflect on what makes them happy or what made them happy or, better time, better place, better life.
I totally agree.
And that's what I think really drove Magic the Gathering single sales, and on top of that, it was the fact that the government was giving them quote unquote free money,
right.
In the form of COVID relief.
I reinvested that into shiny cardboard. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
and it's paid off.
Oh boy, howdy! But it's like I said earlier, it's escapism. You escaped into building commander decks for the excitement of, hey, when it's time to play Magic again, when I can go sit in a store, I've got decks ready. Like, I've got cool decks ready.
Exactly.
And I think it was like that longing to have the interaction with people that drove a large sum of the sales, because people were just super ready to have that experience again. So they were just like bulking up and saving.
Interesting.
As we've heard 1,000 times, in these uncertain times, people were seeking comfort in nostalgia. People grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh! People grew up playing Magic. The Paul brothers grew up playing fucking Pokemon. I will say, Logan walking out with that Charizard chain, at first I was like, ew, but then I thought about it for a second. I'm like, nah, that's a really fucking boss flex. I would do the same thing.
That's some gangster-ass shit.
Yeah, I have to agree.
I'm down with that.
It was totally a millennial flex. So, Mark, if you could make any changes to MTG or Wizards of the Coast's current business model, what would you suggest?
Not suggest. Let's just make you the czar of Wizards of the Coast.
I would burn the reserve list to the ground. That would be my step one. I would just tell everybody that, that has their blue chip stocks invested in Magic the Gathering cards. So I'm sorry, but I can make tens of millions more if I just put these cards on the street. But I would also lean heavier into Commander. I would start, they make Commander-specific sets now, but I would definitely lean a little heavier into Commander in my set design, which I think they're already doing now.
Okay.
But I would certainly make that a little bit more of a point for me, at least, is
more of
that
the
format
focus.
A little bit. It's already very robust,
right?
But it can always be more, and as long as they don't overdo it, I think that's where it's not just the future of Magic is heading in Commander. Magic has been heading towards Commander for a very long time, so I would lean a little bit more into that format.
Okay. Zig says that you're looking into other trading ventures here moving forward. What do you think your next project is going to be?
We got into Pokemon, which was it wasn't like a huge departure from what we do in Magic. We don't buy as much of it. We just buy a lot more of the high end. We buy like graded cards and the Charizards, the Blastoises, the Venusaurs, the S&P 500 of Magic cards, the ones where it's safe to put your money.
That's something we've actually wanted to talk about. Card games as legal money laundering.
Right. Collecting as legal money laundering.
Where did you get all this assets? I pulled this card from a pack 20 years ago.
Yep. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Right. So you agree.
Just launder that money.
Yep.
The Silk Road of card games.
Look, money laundering has fueled the art industry for a long time, and nobody can tell me otherwise.
It's non-traceable, and I say just go with it.
I mean, the money flows through the economy somehow.
Right, okay, so Mark is not saying legally, he's just suggesting that maybe it might work if you want to give it a try.
Hi, Ted the Fed. Don't worry, Ted is the NSA agent who listens to all of our episodes. He's been following since day one.
The flower man outside my house.
Yeah. All right, Mark, this is a really important question. So, what is your favorite fan fiction that you've written on Twitter?
It would definitely be Nicol Bolas and Ugin having incest sex.
Go on.
Here's the thing. It started out as a joke because they basically went out and everybody knew that Chandra and Nissa in love. Everybody knew. So Wizards came out and made a stance. No, Chandra is decidedly straight. That was the words that they used, decidedly straight. So I started writing like joke fiction about other characters being gay and exploring their sexuality. And people really, really, really latched onto it. Like, it was pretty fucking crazy how many people were like, this is so hot.
Yeah. And then you just kept writing them, and I'm just like, oh my lord, these are super graphic, really well written. And they shouldn't be, but they are.
It was funny, and what? Here's the thing for your listeners: people started paying me a lot of money to write them.
Wow! Hey, get that bag!
Yo, done. We need to do it.
I'm not even
I remember
mad.
one night I was sitting on the couch with my wife, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm writing more of those magic smut stories." Why? And I go, "Honey, in like 2 hours, I made $350."
Yay! Hey, holla at him, OnlyFans. The fuck? Y'all busy wasting your time in OnlyFans.
You heard that DJ Khaled is having an OnlyFans now, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, you can pimp me out for anything. Like, if it comes down to like making money, my saying, if you follow me on Twitter, is do the work. It's, you know, it came from The Rock, and it always resonated with me. Do the work.
Right.
And I my entire life have done nothing but work hard and hustled on the side, and, you know, worked in terms of like having a job that I worked 40 hours a week at, but then also doing other things like, you know, like magic cards and video games and just everything possible to improve my quality of life and my wife and son's quality of life. And that includes writing stories about
two dragons having incestual sex
with Liliana. Like, you know, that's
decidedly straight. Wow. Press release, you could tell, was written by a white guy for 100, Alex.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
100, Love Bar.
Yeah. So, Zig, did you have any other questions for Mark before we let him go?
I actually did. I had one magic question and then one irrelevant question. You were serving for a really long time. You always on Twitter talk about customer service first attitude to your dealings, and I've personally experienced that. You were saying you would take like a $50 card to a $60 card. I do know how MTG Finance works a little bit from my years working it before, and is it that hospitality mentality that you carry over into the finance world, that you're more willing to build the relationship with the customer for a long-term investment than just try to focus on the bottom dollar?
Yeah, I mean, I went from somebody that would try to squeeze out a few bucks on cards to now the business model that myself and my partner at Nextbridge Games have implemented is buy high, don't ding the customer as badly as the big stores, sell for a reasonable amount of money, make your profit, and get the hell out and move on to the next card. We don't hold cards, and if we do hold cards, eventually we start making some sick deals on them.
Yep.
I will knock money off of deals if people are like, "Oh, I'm going to spend $600. Can you do it for $550?" I'm like, "Well, we paid $450 for those cards. Shit, let's make $100 and move on." You know,
right.
It's not always about maximizing your profits. Sometimes it's about making good deals, getting the customer to come back, respecting your customers, not treating them like a number. That's the big one. I mean, when you go to like a big box like a Star City or a Card Kingdom or something like that, they give you a number, they deduct your money, they give you that payment, they move on to the next one.
They speed out that sorting on that playmat faster than you can imagine, and then they just look up with the number and they say, "This is what we're going to give you."
You're about building sustainable relationships.
We try to make it personal.
Right.
And like I told you, I took my actual most valuable magic card and sold it to Mark, and he got me the card that would work better for my deck in return, which I thank you very much for, by the way.
Hey, you're welcome. It's just about doing the right thing. I mean, that's where, like, my customer service background is make the customer happy no matter what. And that's what I learned, and that was my motto. It was always do the right thing and make the customer happy every single time. That's what has been missing, and that's what's allowed myself and my partner and our team to be so successful. We genuinely give a shit about the people that buy cards off of us because we know they're putting food on our table.
Right.
And we know they're improving our lives. They saved our business during COVID.
Right.
If it comes down to knocking like $3 or $4 off a card to get somebody to come back and tell their friends, or like I was just sitting here today and I got 5 messages for people that wanted to sell collections that I didn't even make a post saying like, hey, I'm buying collections.
No, I saw you bought the $90,000 one the other day.
We did. It was a $90,000 collection, and I won't say what we paid for it, but the guy was very happy.
Whew.
He was exceedingly happy with what we offered him.
It was a beautiful
it took some back
collection.
and forth. It took a little bit of give on our part, coming up a few $1,000s, which is not a little bit of money. For $3,000, we could buy 2 pretty decent collections.
Right. No,
But, we decided to push our chips in the middle on this collection that we just purchased. It's been a banger so far. Really, really comes down to just do the right thing. Just treat people with respect and dignity.
That's a good
Give them
movie.
a good experience every time, and they'll come back to you. And if they don't, and they're like, fuck this guy, like, I don't like the prices he gave me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you can't do anything at that point. Like, that's not a relationship you can save. But if you can make 99 good ones and the 100th one sucks, you've made 99 good relationships.
Exactly. I've always said that working in the service industry builds empathy. You know, you learn how to empathize with people, especially when you work in like a real, like a cook job or like a restaurant server kind of job. You know, you really do learn that customer service that helps you take the time to understand people. And when you translate that into an entrepreneurial like aspect, it does help you build a business that doesn't just provide a product or a service, but you build relationships with people so they continue to come back. So I totally get where you're coming from with that.
And you have to be genuine, because
Exactly.
people can see through a fake asshole like a million miles away.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm not like the guy that's like out there trying to make a sale. If there have been times where somebody's like, well, hey, I can get this card cheaper on TCG Player, I'm like, then go get that card cheaper on TCG Player. Not like in a condescending way, but like in a genuine...
No, you want people to go where their money will be spent.
Bro. Like, go do it.
Exactly. You want people to go where their money will best be spent, and you are here to consult them. And so it's not even like you're just offering a trading platform. It's almost like you're offering a consulting platform too. It's like, I want to help you get the best experience out of this game. So whereas I'm here to make a profit, I'm also here to, you know, help you at some point. You know what I mean?
That was one of the things I talked to you about when we made our trade. We discussed reserve list values going up. Reserve list is funky. We're still trying to figure out if it's a linear growth or an exponential growth.
Right, like if it's gonna have point or if
A
it's
bit of both.
Yeah, I think it's case by case.
Yeah.
But the last question I wanted to ask you is, don't overthink it. Give me your 3 favorite Brad Pitt movies. Go.
Interview with the Vampire, Troy, Legends of the Fall.
All right. Well, Mark, thank you for joining us.
What is your Twitter handle?
You can find me at Dynamo Nestico.
Awesome.
Selling cards sucks.
Yes.
Awesome, man. Well, we hope to hear from you again. Thanks for joining us.
And teaching us a little thing about this cardboard economy.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
It was like 2008. I might give that to you. But everybody can afford the internet now. At least a little bit of internet.
You can't fucking escape the internet.
Right.
The internet finds you. Welcome to the internet. We've got everything you need.
Speaking of that, California just passed a bill that will allow for a $6 billion plan to lay down infrastructure for fiber optic network access for the entire state. And they plan to prioritize underdeveloped areas, you know, the areas with less than 25 megabits per second of like...
To make the Wi-Fi cheaper for...
Yeah, for everybody. Yeah. And more reliable for everybody. I
mean, my new job has no signal or Wi-Fi.
Right. And
Zero.
I feel like with California pushing this kind of initiative, because this really is something that a lot of other states.
As the world develops, it is becoming more and more of a necessity.
It is a necessity. It is infrastructure. The internet is no longer a niche service, right? It is infrastructure.
And yet 90% of it, still porn.
But, I mean, that other 10%, you know, people's jobs, people's lives.
The other 10%... Alright, so let's lay this out. Normal people's understanding of the internet is like the human brain.
I was trying to bring this conversation back to like some kind of like rational, logical discussion. I don't want to talk about all the absurd furry porn.
No, I just want to say the internet, as most people understand it,
the internet is for porn.
As most people understand, no, let me finish. As most people understand it, the internet is like the human brain. We only understand 10% of it. And then there's the other 90.
Oh, God, you had to go there with it.
I'm not saying that the human consciousness is all related to porn, but I'm just saying they teach Freud.
So yeah, you literally are making the assumption through your...
You were having lizard people pedophiles earlier, okay?
That 90% of our brain function is for sex stuff.
I'm saying 90% of the internet is.
And you're saying if most people think about the internet like their brains and that 10% of it is... Then
10% is all that's tapped! That means the super geniuses are the ones who watch porn! Because they can access more than 10% of the internet!
Of their brain! Of their brain function through the power of horniness!
Yes! Increase their blood flow, which sends more oxygen to their brain.
What is that?
Which eventually gives you the 7 minutes of clarity.
What is that?
That Hank Moody mentions in Californication.
What is that? I'll tell you what is happening. $6 billion of statewide funds,
cheaper internet,
will be allocated, $3.25 billion of which will be used to hire a third-party company to build and maintain what they are calling the middle network. It is California's way of saying, we are going to improve your access and capability to get the internet, but we will not give you free internet. They will still let ISPs provide access to the internet, but they will make it easier and provide, I guess, a better capability.
So you told me about this, and you said that they were going to be putting it out to ISPs, internet service providers,
right?
But they're going to have the infrastructure set into place by the government. I kind of thought, I'm like, I know it's like we already have the government listening. Hi, Ted the Fed.
This guy.
But
this guy.
Do we need the phone directly linked to the government?
If you don't think that your phone isn't already directly linked to the government, then I would like to welcome you to the 21st century. Hi, hello there.
Okay.
Unless you want to go back to brick phones, just accept it.
I'll settle for a Nokia.
Just accept it, because there's no, it's all connected.
What's stronger, a Nokia or Mjolnir?
I saw a Screen Rant article about Goku being able to lift Mjolnir, and I was mad because just off of the headline alone, I couldn't argue with it. Because Goku probably is pure of heart enough to be able to lift that motherfucker.
You, me, and Lord God had this discussion.
Did we?
Yes. And I actually was re-listening to that episode. I can tell you this. We had that discussion.
Wait. Do I have the same opinion that I have now?
Lord God changed yours.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh.
Because he said he can't lift it when he's Super Saiyan.
Oh.
Because to go Super Saiyan, you have to have some inherent rage that basically taints your heart to the point where you could not lift Mjolnir.
But now I feel like, what happens when Thor is mad, though?
Because
Does that mean he can't lift Mjolnir because he's mad and full of rage?
Nah, dude, that's his hammer.
So you're saying because Mjolnir was specifically made for Thor?
Think about it this way. I have no problem driving my car because it's stick shift. But for you, you would have to be deemed worthy, aka not destroy my clutch. For me, it's no problem. Like, it's my car.
So are we assuming, though? See, now I have to go back and listen to the episode. Go back and listen to the episode, because that's y'all.
The episode is called Lord Infamous, by the way.
And let me know if I ask him what happens if he transforms Super Saiyan midway while holding that bitch. Does he just drop to the fucking floor? Like, I don't know. I need to know. Because I don't feel like this is really the government, like, spying in on you, though. Like, because I said, what happens if Minnesota does this shit? We have tons of useless infrastructure laying around. It's part of the culture war we're having, right?
I will say,
it is an upgrade from the old shit. Like, I don't understand what the hesitancy was at the turn of the fucking 19th century when the steam engine and electricity came out. Like, everybody kind of got... I know there were some people who, like, I literally have seen ads where it was like, electricity, sometimes people explode when walking under the telephone wires. And it's like, that doesn't happen. And we're doing the same shit now, right? Like, when 5G came out, they were like, COVID, haha, have you seen these 5G towers? Suck my dick. I'm not getting no vaccine.
so I actually have a perfect follow-up on that. You were talking about how we have all of this quote-unquote useless infrastructure. If you look at all of these, since the Olympics are also one of the things that's been talked about a lot recently, if you look at a lot of the other countries that hosted, if you look up the pictures of their Olympic villages now, they look just completely abandoned. Like vines growing over and everything.
I thought you were going to talk about. I thought you were going to talk about the beds that they made for them this time around, so that they can't fuck in them.
No, I'm saying.
Have you seen them?
No, I don't. Hold on. What I'm saying is, as far as useless infrastructure goes,
I know what you're saying.
We have at least made better use of the infrastructure that we have than countries, you know, who have fucking toboggan slides just growing over in weeds, taking up acres and acres and acres.
Atlanta, say that to Seattle, the places in this country that have held the Olympics.
We can say that to Japan right now.
So they made beds for them. I don't know how. Okay.
All right. We can say that about Japan right now.
I read an article that they have these beds for them to try and, you know, keep them from bunking together and, you know, have them maintain social distancing, that are made out of, like, cardboard and are super, like, sensitive, so you can't fuck in them. Wow. Which is what, you know, is known to happen at the Olympic Village, is a bunch of fucking amongst athletes to create a breed of superhumans that will one day
also take steroids and compete in the Olympics.
I was gonna say wipe normal Cro-Magnon man out of existence, but...
What do you think after Homo sapien would be called? Homo superior?
Yes, duh. What the fuck?
Because the human brain then it taps into 2% more and it just envelops pure narcissism.
I read somewhere that the human brain is like actually like shrinking because we're like compartmentalizing the way we perceive things, and we're using like technology and stuff, so we don't have to have as much brain matter for like survival tactics and shit like that. We live in houses now, right? So we don't have to learn how to watch out for tigers and pterodactyls and shit like that.
But as we were talking about with all of these, you mentioned Atlanta and everything with all of these abandoned things, and I even said it applies to Japan. And this is kind of funny because we're talking about abandoned Olympic villages along with the country that is going to be hosting the Olympics, and yet there are more than 8 million empty houses in rural Japan, and local governments are selling them for as little as $500 to lure residents.
Say what?
Yeah.
Damn. I mean...
So we're talking about useless infrastructure.
Where did you... So this is an Insider?
This is an article from Insider.
Okay.
According to Japan's Housing and Land Survey, there are a record high of 8.49 million akiya, which are like row homes.
Traditional, like, Japanese cottage houses.
And many of these homes were left empty after relatives died or people moved away. And if people don't know, Japan actually has a declining population because people aren't having kids and the older generations are dying out.
The same thing is happening here. They just don't want to talk about it. It's just happening in specific areas.
And it's actually crazy because 13.6% of Japan's 62.4 million homes are unoccupied.
So housing, that's wild to me, right? Because the housing crisis is something that we are dealing with here, right? Especially with the looming rent crisis, the rent strikes and landlords from evicting people.
A stay order?
Yeah, but there's a word for it.
Not a referendum.
See, it's close. All right. Anyway, there's that stay order that's keeping the landlords from evicting all of those tenants right now. And cities like New York and LA and all around the United States have all of these like houses and real estate properties that are currently like unoccupied and are just like investment properties that people are, I don't know, trying to flip or whatever at the moment. I mean, there's tons of fucking abandoned, dilapidated row homes in Baltimore that they
Full
were
bodies.
Selling.
I've seen The Wire.
Yeah.
Baltimore's not exactly like The Wire, everybody.
No, not at all. But it's like the same shit that was in Japan. Remember, they were selling like full sets of row homes for like $10,000.
Well, currently, the town of Okutama in western Tokyo is actually handing over aging and vacant buildings for free.
See? I mean, but that's literally what was like going on in Baltimore, yo. You could like get grants to buy like whole sets of row homes and flip them shits. They were like, please, somebody, come buy these homes. There's like nothing going on. Help us make the city look better, please.
The town of Daisen in Tottori Prefecture saw a 7.9% drop in the number of empty properties when local government offered 2 million yen, the equivalent of 18,229 American dollars, grants to those renovating certain houses listed in their database. They would pay you to take a house.
That is literally what I've been saying was going on in Baltimore. It's so crazy.
And this is the country that's hosting the Olympics coming up, which, if you've seen in other countries, can leave dead and useless infrastructure floating around.
Yeah, and Tokyo is... That's extra wild to me because Tokyo is already the most densely packed city on the
But they're
planet.
talking about rural Japan.
Oh. Yeah.
Rural Japan is where they are having a lot of hard times getting people to move to and stay.
It's like the USDA grants that they have.
Because, I mean, like, Japan still has a lot of traditional rice paddy fields.
If you know, you know. I know a lot of people getting off right now going to get one of them USDA land grants and going and getting them a set of property out there in fucking South County.
Not all of Japan is the Akihabara district.
I mean, I feel you, just like not all of Maryland is Baltimore.
My Virginia, my mama.
Yeah. So, I mean... It's heavy out here. And I feel like I was just reading somewhere.
You know what's heavy?
A lot of people a lot of the Japanese citizens aren't even really trying to have the Olympics there. You know?
Yeah, and the Olympic events are going to be held without spectators. So,
It's all gonna take some getting used to.
It's gonna be weird because I want to know, are they going to keep the Olympics on every 4 years, or are they just going to do a 3-year lap to put it back on the 2-year separation from the Winter Olympics?
At this point, I think a 3-year lap would probably be more beneficial, don't you think?
I mean, it would be easier to keep track of, because it's just like every 4 years you remember, oh, like it's the Olympics, it's always on an even year, so
Yeah.
they could just throw like a little asterisk next to this and be like, COVID.
Exactly.
You're gonna look at all of the records from like 2019 to 2022, and just like for everything, they're gonna be like, well, what happened here? COVID. Where's your employment history from 2019 to 2022? COVID.
Can you? I can't wait for that. Getting interviewed by your grandkids. Like, I got a history project and it's all about COVID. Can you tell me what it was like?
Well, son, there's this thing called Tiger King.
Oh,
Let me tell you about Joe Exotic. Don't lie, that is one of the things that we are going to think of forever when it comes to fucking COVID, is Tiger King.
I've already forgotten about Tiger King.
Anytime I think of COVID, I am going to fucking think of Tiger King.
That's crazy.
Because remember, nobody knew what the fuck to do when they were stuck inside. It was just like one of those shows.
Remember how you motherfuckers embarrassed the entire nation by running out and buying all the toilet paper for no reason.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, no, that one I'll never forget.
And then set the rest of the globe off on a trend like, why are all the Americans buying toilet paper so much? We must buy toilet paper then, right? I guess COVID makes you shit your brains out.
Johnson & Johnson, to the moon!
The fuck?
But, speaking of worldly affairs,
ooh, run game.
we got Russia or Florida's.
Oh boy. Alright, so we're back with Russia or Florida. A segment where Zig reads some wild ass headlines that he found.
May be from Russia or Florida. And Doc has to guess which one.
Gotta love it.
And you know what the thing is? He gets some wrong, and that's the point of the segment.
And that's the point. You can never tell, because Russia may be the world's Florida.
Man driving home from strip club drunk falls out of his car and gets run over by his car.
This is totally Florida.
This is Florida.
That is totally a Florida story.
This is in fact Florida.
I don't even think... I'm sure strip clubs are a thing in Russia, but... falling out of your car drunk on the way home from a strip club...
Super Florida. It's super Florida.
Totally sounds like a Florida thing.
Okay.
Was that in Miami?
I didn't get where it was, but he definitely looked like somebody who was like from like Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Because we all know what the different Florida mans look like.
Next headline.
Girl gets tombstone in the shape of an iPhone with a selfie on the front.
Read that again one more time.
Girl gets a tombstone in the shape of an iPhone with a selfie on the front.
What? I just want y'all to know that in remembrance of me, on my way out, please note me for
This is my best selfie.
I cared about most, and that this was my most liked post.
I just want to say, this is what Bo Burnham's white woman Instagram was about.
I still feel like that this is a Russia headline.
This, I'm impressed. It is in fact Russia. This is Russia.
2 for 2. Hey, shout out to Space Jam. Not there yet, but we'll get there.
So, man attacked tow truck driver with a pair of nunchucks.
What kind of car was it?
It was a tow truck.
No, what kind of car was being towed?
I don't know.
Damn it.
I told you there was one of these that I read the article for. This is not the one.
Did we pass the one that you read the article? Oh, okay. Florida.
This is Florida.
3 for 3. He's on fire.
He's on fire! Man who was told to wear a mask in store steals a gorilla mask from costume shop.
Was it the same shop he was robbing?
From my understanding, it was a mall.
So he went into
one store, and he was kicked out for not having a mask, goes to another store, and gets caught stealing a gorilla mask.
Thank you, this is Florida.
This is fake.
What a twist!
Oh, you dirty bastard.
This is fake. I made this one up.
Damn, what?
I told you, I was start throwing some curveballs in here.
That's a thing? What kind of dungeon master shit is that?
The dungeon master type of shit. This is my segment. I have the power here. I know, you're here to fight the power.
Are there more headlines?
Oh, yes. This is the one that I did the research on.
Okay. This is the one I've been waiting for.
Men pretend to be a bus to cross a bridge.
What the fuck? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Men pretend to be a bus to cross a bridge. I will pull up the video for you.
There's video?
That's what I mean by I did my research.
I'm so confused. Why would they need to pretend to be a bus? Who's guarding the bridge? Is it a troll? Because if it's a troll, then this is totally Russia. Oh. Now I'm hip. I see what's going on here. Classic Hanna-Barbera tactics. Look at the cop walking up like somebody fucking upset mom. This is Russia. This is Russia. I can tell by the cop. Yo. That cop looked like somebody's upset parent. Yo. Get the fuck. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I saw this and I was like, no. Men pretend to be a bus.
Wow, that's great.
Of course, I'm going to send that to you.
Yeah, I can't wait to slap that video. That's gonna be great. Because my mind is blown. I don't understand. How do you get to the point where you're like, let's just see how far we can get?
I mean, alright, so here's the thing. Why were they trying to cross the bridge? Was it a toll bridge? Was it too expensive?
I just fucking told you. Was
it a long walk and you couldn't walk on the sidewalk? So they made a fucking bus?
A conversation that landed on, let's just see how far we can go.
Batman, well, I'll see what I can do.
Let's just see how far this goes, guys. I mean, no one says we can't dress like a bus to the nearest drive-thru, and you know you can't pull up at a drive-thru without a vehicle.
That's actually kind of genius.
The next best thing is to dress like a bus, but in order to get there, You have to go on a journey. And there will be haters along your way, i.e. the pigs, A-cab, all day. AKA fuck the police.
Alright.
I hope the niggas got their Taco Bell, is all I'm saying.
So,
Do you think they have Taco Bell in Russia? They've gotta have Taco Bell in Russia.
yeah. Everybody needs Mexican food.
Can you imagine going to a Russian-Mexican restaurant?
I imagine it being very tense.
I don't. I imagine it being a spectacle. Anyway. Speaking of spectacles, Loki had its final episode this week, or last week, depending on when you're listening to this. It'll definitely be last week when you're listening to this.
Hey, it's Franklin. Look at that turtle go, bro.
So, spoiler alert, we're dropping all the spoilers. Because by
the time y'all hear this, it would have been 2 weeks. Spoilers, deal with it.
Jonathan Majors killed that
Oh
motherfucking role,
my
son.
lord.
That shit was a
He
banger.
conquered the screen as soon as he got out of that elevator.
Yo, look at you, fangirling. My God. My
But
God.
he walks out immediately owning the place. He bites the apple. We'll get to that. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, look. 2 Lokis in the same place. It's, kind of odd. Crunch apple.
I'm just happy to see the young Kang getting money, my nigga. The young Kang out here getting money, my nigga. Look, I had to say it twice just so, people would get it.
Are you going to say that, is Jonathan Majors your rival?
Why do you have to pit 2 successful black men against each other?
Just call me ESPN.
God. It's so terrible. Why?
But you also, the other night, you were like, God, he's the same age as me. I need to be as successful as him. Are you Gary to his Ash, or are you Ash to his Gary? Are you red to his blue?
Gang.
Blue version or red version? Which did you have?
Red version.
I had red version too.
Gang.
Squirtle or Charmander? The other choice is objectively wrong.
Bulbasaur? What the fuck is wrong with Bulbasaur?
Everything.
What do you mean? Everything.
Everything.
What is wrong with Bulbasaur?
He sucks. Squirtle's cooler. Charmander's cooler. Also, there was this hilarious thing I once remember from summer camp. This guy had Charmander, and he went to go fight Brock, and he got smashed by Brock. So he ended up grinding in Pallet Town until he had a level 37 Charizard, and then went and fought Brock again.
All I'm saying is the hate in your voice towards Bulbasaur, who was always a stand-up character, is just... I mean, look, my man's... You're just...
Do you want to know why Squirtle is the one I always picked? You want to know why?
Why?
Look at me. Squirtle!
I don't understand what that was supposed to mean.
Squirtle Squad!
Okay, the Squirtle Squad, though. All I'm saying was Bulbasaur was always down. Bulbasaur was like Ice Cube. He was like Doughboy in Boys to the Hood. You know what I mean? Like, he was always down. When you needed him, did he ever let Ash down? No, I don't.
Alright, I give it to you. Charizard was he started being a dick when he was Charmeleon.
Charizard was a dick. Yeah.
But Charizard came back in Pokemon 2000 when he needed him.
Look.
He was like... And Charizard was like, Char!
Shout out to the Green Ranger.
You know the Green Ranger's dope because he has 3 first names. Jason David Frank.
Oh, I thought it was, I was about to say Tommy Lee Jones.
That's 2 first names.
Tommy Lee Jones.
How many people are named Jones for their first name? Come on now. That dude is Jason David Frank.
Oh, well, okay. Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Prince is dead.
Freddie Prinze
He is
Jr.
officially the artist formerly known as Prince.
Freddie Prinze Jr. is not, though. This conversation.
Jason David Frank sounds like a rec team 3-on-3 team.
Loki.
And it's one person.
Loki.
Also the White Ranger.
Also, Loki. Introducing a whole different array that allows Marvel to completely fuck continuity, which in whatever way they please.
The ending of Loki was as important as the snap.
Yes, because as we move forward here, this is really setting the tone for Phase 4, right? Because let's not forget that Jonathan Majors also plays Kang the Conqueror, right? So where he was introduced here,
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man, what are they calling the next Spider-Man movie?
Far From Home,
where they bring in Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Right. All of this shit is because of the fractured timeline, right? That was disrupted when...
Which is brilliant from a business perspective.
Like I said, it allows them to completely fuck the timeline or the continuity, right? They can do whatever they want now because, the timeline is fractured, right? Like, I was reading in Screen Rant, Kang doesn't even always have to be played by fucking Jonathan Majors, right? Because it can be a variant, right? Like Sylvie is just a variant of Loki, so Loki does not always have to be played by Tom fucking Hiddleston.
If Thanos is the Destroyer and Stan Lee is the Supreme Kai, Jonathan Majors' Kang the Conqueror is Grand Zeno.
Well, I mean, that is how they are setting his character up to be, because they really are...
I ended the multiversal war, stands on the desk, and I set the timeline. You're welcome.
Yo, he really did, like,
he was comedic, but horrifying at the same time.
He was unhinged. Like, it was truly
a joke. He had a Joker-esque laugh.
Yo, it was what you would expect from somebody who has really, like, seen and consumed all existences. Right? Like, you would totally be that unhinged and just ready to go. Like, please, like, end it. Like, the Joker literally is begging for Batman to kill him.
That's his ultimate goal.
He's like, please, I don't want to be here. I don't know
That's
why
not why
I
the Joker.
can't do
That's
it.
not why the Joker wants him to kill him.
Sure, no, of course the Joker. Maybe the Joker just said that because he knows that it'll get to Batman, and eventually, as it did, it will make Batman snap that nigga's neck, right? Like,
pause. Let me grab my podium.
Getting video was the worst thing we ever did.
So.
It's also the greatest thing we've ever done.
The Joker is an agent of chaos. Pure chaos.
Yes.
Now, all he wants to do is find a way to show that chaos can conquer all. Batman is not a symbol of justice or vengeance. He's only a symbol of order. He is able to do anything to maintain order, but that one incorruptible rule that he will not kill directly with his hands. He's probably caused a lot of casualties over the years. Let's disregard that. But Joker, being the agent of chaos, wanting to prove that he can take everything down to his level, or up to his level, however you want to take the psychosis of Joker. And he sees Batman as the one incorruptible thing. So, to prove that chaos can conquer all, he must have Batman kill someone. And he knows the only way he can convince Batman to kill someone is to be the most sinister, evil being on the planet that can take the most incorruptible and break it.
That all sounds like a roundabout way to just kill yourself, yo. Like, it really just sounds like he has a what do they call it? A suicide by death squad?
Look, I'm not saying it's not an r/I'm 14 and this is deep.
No, it sounds like them niggas who get into shootouts with the cops because they want to, off themselves. And he's like, no, the cop I want to off me is Batman. Have you seen those pecs, bro? Oh my god. Like,
you're right in the premise, you're terribly off with the reasoning.
No, sure. Whatever. Maybe it's not because the Joker has a total homosexual crush for Batman that, Harley Quinn, the animated series, has touched on already. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's totally because the Joker, he's just the ultimate edgelord, bro, and it's total like fucking fifth brain shit, and I can't get it because I'm just not on that. It also just feels like, if he really wanted to break Batman, I'm sure there are other people he could have got Batman to kill. Why does he have to be such a narcissist if he really wants to?
Because he knows that no one else is capable of pushing Batman to that point, because Joker is someone who has completely detached himself from consequence.
And all
not morality, consequence.
And all logic, right? Because Batman clearly already knows that
There's an argument, actually, to say that Joker has superseded to another level of humanity. It's a weird argument, but there is an argument. I gotta find it up in my Batman paper. It's dug somewhere in like the 50-something pages.
I guarantee you that argument was written by a neckbeard, bro. I also know that if what Joker's ultimate goal is not suicide and
it's to prove chaos can corrupt all,
then he would logically know that there is no way Batman will kill him because Batman has already figured out that is Joker's plan. So Joker should then try to logically get Batman to kill someone else because he is the ultimate agent of chaos and can push Batman to kill somebody, whether it be him or an unsuspecting individual.
Four sidekicks, Robin's on the wall. Four sidekick, Robin's on the wall. Take one down, beat it with a bar. 3 sidekick, Robin's on the wall.
All I'm saying is it sounds to me like Joker may have some gay suicide, homoerotic thought pattern like fantasy fiction going on.
We should ask Mark Hamill.
That's all I'm saying.
We gotta reach out to Mark Hamill and just be like, will you do a weekly segment with us called Ask Mark Hamill?
No, we don't. Because, like I said, Harley Quinn, the animated series, already explained it,
Jonathan Majors is incredible.
Yes. I totally love what this finale has set up for the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what Jonathan Majors is doing for...
And to see him from Lovecraft Country...
Well, what I was
because I have only seen him in Lovecraft Country, and his acting chops showed through there. And while this is a completely different character, he uses those same tools, and I'm like, wow, I can totally buy into him as Atticus and as Kang and see them as separate characters, which is a really impressive thing in an actor.
What I was going to say is I totally love what Jonathan Majors is doing for black men in science fiction in general, right? Because it's not something that you see very often. I mean, we had like Wesley Snipes, and then we had like Shaquille O'Neal and Robert Townsend and Michael Jai White. But like, it's not, and those are like superhero movies. That's not even just like science fiction, right? And I like what Marvel has done for the blending of science fiction and superhero movies, right? Because a lot of them essentially are science fiction movies.
You know what was really cool? So I listened to this analysis podcast because, I love deep dive analysis. And this podcast was like 3 times as long as the episode, but they were just breaking down everything.
Right.
They talked ad nauseum about Jonathan Majors, and you know what was nice that I noticed?
What?
Not once was him being black ever mentioned.
Well, I feel like that is the objective goal, right? Is to get to that point. but I do feel like representation matters.
It is very important, but it's not part of his narrative, and it had no reason to be discussed. And I was like,
oh, you mean in the show as reference to the character being black.
in the the analysis episode of this podcast.
Okay.
They never once mentioned Jonathan Majors being black.
Well,
I was like, that's really nice.
Yeah, I do think. Well,
It's just he's the actor playing the character.
Because
that is it.
Kang was purple skinned, so I mean, who else would
He was
play
green skinned.
and
Also, which version of Kang?
green and purple skin? So I mean, like,
Which version of Kang?
right? Because as I stated earlier, it's with the disruption in the timeline. It's not even definite that all versions of Kang have to be played by Jonathan Majors, right? Like, a version of Kang the Conqueror could show up in Falcon Winter Soldier Dezu-chan that isn't played by Jonathan Majors.
It's Captain Falcon Soldier Winter Dezu.
Anyway, my point here being, with him slated to be Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man 3, right? Like, it's Ant-Man Trace. It's not even the same Kang that he was in Loki, right? Like, the Kang that he was in Loki
He's dead.
is the one of... Oh, not the one above all. What is the one that...
the one that remains.
Yes, the one that remains, right? So, that one is dead, right?
Yeah, he's dead.
That was the ultimate Kang. Now we will see all of the Kang variants vying for control of the timeline.
I can't wait to see Alligator Kang. You know there's an Alligator Kang.
Loki Season 2 has already been confirmed.
Yep.
I mean, I gotta get caught up on the entire series. I've watched bits and pieces of episodes here and there since you showed me the season finale. Young Justice Season 4 on HBO Max was confirmed, so we'll be getting ready for that.
I haven't watched season 3. I need to. It's on HBO Max, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I remember DC was trying to do their own streaming service. I'm like, I'm not paying for a DC exclusive streaming service.
No, now they're tag team with HBO, and that's probably the best move for them. Speaking of best moves, let's talk about James Gunn saying Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will most likely be his final MCU film. How you feeling about that?
I wish he didn't do Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh, what would you have had him do? Iron Man? Could you imagine what a James Gunn Iron Man would have been like?
Give me a second to ponder this.
Okay.
It just didn't feel like...
So you weren't a Guardians fan?
I'm not a huge fan of the Guardians.
No. Oh, look at this guy. Eyebrow.
I would have wanted James Gunn to do the Daredevil Netflix show in the way they're doing the Disney Plus shows.
Okay. I think if we see James Gunn in the MCU again, it will be in some similar style to that. You know what I mean? Maybe guest directing one of the episodes for the series or something like that.
I saw this great meme, by the way, about Marvel MCU. It's like, yeah, you know, Captain Marvel's out there defending the galaxy. Tony Stark is stressing over protecting he's protecting the whole world. Captain America is saving our country. Spider-Man's got New York City on lock. And Daredevil is getting his ass whooped for like a 5 square block area in New York.
That's fucking terrible, yo. That's fucking terrible. You know what else might be a terrible idea? Netflix has decided that they are going to stream video games.
Can you play it on the KF console?
You still stuck on this KF console, my nigga. No, look, so listen, Netflix has decided that they gotta diversify a little bit. You know, they tackled the animation. You know, first they really came for the neck with the, like, their
What are they gonna be,
series. So now they're gonna do some, they're gonna stream some video games. I haven't seen what titles or, you know, kind of exclusives, if it's...
Are they gonna be originals, or are they gonna have...
I did.
Is it gonna be an extra level subscription? Is it gonna be?
That, but I saw an article for what was that fancy period piece show that they had just recently?
Queen's Gambit?
No, not Queen's Gambit. The other one with the interracial love affair. I know that's a terrible way to describe this show.
Also, there's a lot of those now.
Oh my God, Bridgerton. Yes, there was a article I saw about a Bridgerton game. So, I don't know. Take that how you want to take it. I'm just saying, with all these like Japanese RPGs out there, with these dating RPGs, why can't?
Don't you dare bring Fire Emblem into this.
Why can't we have a Bridgerton RPG dating? Why not?
They turned Fire Emblem into a fucking waifu simulator.
Why not one?
And they added a casual mode.
Do you know what kind of fire a Game of Thrones waifu simulator would have been?
I mean, there's enough tits already in the show.
Right, so can you just imagine how these weebs would have been like just... Look. The money's there, is all I'm saying. All you need to do is sign the check. I don't think that this is a bad idea if they can get the infrastructure right. Everybody, but I mean, look, Apple did it, Google was trying to do it, and how is Stadia doing? Do we know what the subscription numbers for Stadia look like?
For Stevia?
Stadia.
Stevia.
Is it Stevia?
No, that's a fucking coffee sugar additive.
So fuck you. No, you know what I'm talking about. The Google stream, like Google's answer to Steam. Anyway.
Why don't they just call it Google Games?
Welcome to the flood where we try to be hip and in touch about
He
things.
throws a lot of shit at me sometimes, yo!
Anyway. So, I mean, would you, if Netflix was streaming things like TFT and League...
Depends on what I can play it. Could I play it with my Switch controller? Would I have to use a keyboard and mouse?
Right.
Would you be able to play it on whatever service? Like, if you're streaming it on a PS4 or 5, can you play it on the PS4 or 5 controller?
Right. Like, can you play
if
it
you're
from your...
Like, because that would make it hard. Like, people who have a Switch that would want to do that. Netflix isn't on Nintendo Market.
Ah, I didn't know that. So do you think that this is a good move for them, with them opening up all these studios and things that they're doing?
I mean, Netflix started out by sending DVDs, and GameFly was a thing, so fuck it, why not?
But that's what... So why not just absorb GameFly then, right? Like,
didn't they just eat themselves?
Maybe. Who knows?
I mean, as someone who used to absolutely die hard for having physical copies of games...
As somebody who had a GameFly account, like, the Surface was
it's
legit.
Just, I mean, at this point, I'm just like...
You know who else was like, Cornel West. Cornel West pieced out from Harvard over the week.
Yeah.
And wrote that scathing letter I let you read before we film, where he just kind of,
He was like, "Hi everyone, I love all my staff, but fuck you all, you're sellouts."
Fuck the administration. The staff is cool. My man literally rolled in and was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. She's cool. You didn't say shit when my mom passed, so fuck you. And,
also, you didn't give me my time off, and every class I was teaching, you said was a black class.
it was more about you didn't give me my time off and you didn't say shit when my mom passed. It was about how they forced him to, I guess, brand himself as like the black instructor, and kind of like pigeonholed him within a standard that he didn't feel like other people were held to, and he felt like the rest of the black administration or the black staff there was held to the same standard, if not treated worse than him. You know what I mean? And he let them know that is why he was leaving. It pretty much was, I'm leaving because this is a toxic work environment post. And I'm totally with it. Like, fuck that. Get out of your fucking job if it's toxic, yo. Fuck that shit. It's 2021. You do not have to. The only way we've seen, the only way we are going to make them bend, right, is to put their feet to the fire. And I'm not out here just trying to talk radical shit.
To quote Loki.
No! I'm not out here just talking radical shit to, you know, hype up the speculatory streams, right? No, it's been proven, yo. The only way that people talk about the riots and why did they loot? Why did they burn the buildings down? Because they don't listen beforehand. You had angry moms, you had angry citizens going to these city hall meetings and these council meetings talking about police brutality and the over-policing of these neighborhoods and the underfunding and the under-reform that was being, or the not near enough amount of reform that was being done in these areas. And when things hit a boiling point, the people acted the only way they felt would be heard, right? So, what do we have now? We have a system where after the pandemic, you know, quote unquote, jobs and services, essential services are having trouble hiring staff, right? Like there is an unemployment crisis. These niggas aren't going back to work. And it's because they're demanding a better work-to-life balance, right? They want a livable wage. It is being discovered now that with the rent crisis that we were talking about earlier, right? It's being discovered that people's minimum wages do not sustain them.
Maybe everybody just needs to move to Japan.
It is not enough to get a one-bed. Most people's minimum wage jobs is not enough to afford a one-bedroom apartment in a lot of the urban, you know, areas, the urban population centers in the United States, right? Which means your only choice then is to move to the rural areas, right, where it's cheap to live, but then you have to have the ability to commute. And the infrastructure to commute from the rural areas to the city to get work is not where it should be. That's what they're fucking
Vicious cycle!
That's what they're complaining
Macro
about.
perspective!
They're like, nobody looks out for us here out in the fucking boons, right?
Putting the culture in context.
We don't even have the internet. And then when they go to bring them the internet, they go, the big government.
What do we do with the internet? We make mainstream make sense. Wizard hands.
Fucking crazy, yo. Where's my ice, guys? Chill out.
Jalen Rose said some wild shit, and I want to hear what you had to say after break.
So,
I'm fully aware that I was singing 1980s cartoon D&D ballad type of music. When Bilbo found that shrine. I'm sorry.
anyway, as we roll back into it,
I have two who the fuck asked for this.
Yo, it's me! It's me, the guy who asked!
What is this?
But why?
Hey, who man is this?
Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Who man is this?
You serious?
damn, you coming with the heavy hitters this week. All right, so what do we got? What do you got for me?
Do you want to start with the 1984 one, or do you want to start with the more money laundery one?
What kind of setup is that? I guess I'm always looking for ways to clean up some paper.
Alright, so, in Magic the Gathering news...
Oh, buddy. So, I like how you said
one of the top players in the world has started his own card game.
Y'all know he totally set me up.
What a twist!
Started his own card game that you don't have to buy packs. You can just buy the individual cards that you need.
Okay.
But you can only buy it with crypto. And not even any crypto. A specific crypto. Like Tevo or something like that.
But why? Why crypto? Right? This sounds like a pump and dump. Right? Like, here I am. I'm gonna use this card game
And my clout from another card game.
To boost this random cryptocurrency. And then I'm gonna cash out a dip on this whole motherfucking thing, right? Like,
and it makes sense considering Wizards cut so much of the prize money from pro players.
Do you know how easy it would be to just be like, I decided that the project wasn't going anywhere. If you guys still have cards, congratulations, you now hold something rare and
NFT
collectible yourself. So it sounds like a scam.
Yeah, kind of does.
I'm not mad at it. Look, if anybody falls for it, then, you know, shame on them. But, or good on them. Who knows? A copy of Super Mario 64 just sold for what, like over $1 million, right? Unopened, of course. So if you just happen to have enough money to fuck around and buy a copy of Super Mario N64 and not open that motherfucker.
I mean, you heard about the dude that bought the Bezos space flight for $80 million and then was like, whoops, scheduling conflict.
Bro, I'm just like, with the card stuff, like, at this point, it really just feels, and I'm totally
But I mean, you see how all of this is just becoming, it's a microcosm of the economy as a whole.
It is all just money laundering.
Mm-hmm.
You get a bunch of money, and I don't know, I don't want the IRS to take it.
Let me buy some reserve list magic cards.
Why would I want to help benefit the economy? Why would I want to help rebuild the infrastructure and maintain the hospitals so that, I don't know, if something like COVID ever fucking happened again, we wouldn't get overwhelmed with masks that were extremely outdated and undersourced? I don't know. Nah, fuck that. I'm just gonna buy a fucking $7,000 magic card.
Yeah. And if you bought it at the right time, it's probably worth $15,000.
This is coming from the dude who, if he had enough fucking money, would spend probably $20,000 on an entire granite tub. Something completely frivolous and grandiose, right? If I had the money, I would totally do it. But
we have a Patreon.
Pump and dump schemes. Using your clout to push a Bitcoin, right? Or to push a crypto coin. Because, like, Bitcoin is not going to become the Tupperware of cryptocurrency. To use your clout, it's like, it's becoming so played out, right? Like, one of the Paul brothers is in trouble for that shit. The whole, like, fucking FaZe clan just got in trouble for that shit. The scam is so, like, fucking last year. Like, the fuck? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, goddamn. How are we ever supposed to destabilize the dollar and make crypto an actual, like, thing if you guys keep using it to scam the normies? Y'all never think about the long haul, right? You guys never think about the long con. It's always about instant gratification with you motherfuckers. That's why we can't get anything done. I'm sorry, what happened?
I'll save the next two the fuck ass for this.
No, why? Why are we saving what we would do in the segment? Did something I say? Was it something I said?
Okay.
Did I say something wrong?
Alright, so.
What did I say?
Replica. My AI friend.
So we know who asked for this, right?
Neckbeards?
It's not just neckbeards, right? It's like incels or like motherfuckers who claim I just don't have the time for a woman. You know what I mean? She needs effort and attention and empathy, and I just don't have those things because I'm a businessman, not a businessman. You know, like Jay-Z said, right? I'm like Jay-Z. You know, that's why I don't have time for a woman. Cause
you don't have any time. You also don't have any ass.
Cause I'm like Jay-Z. You know, I'm getting to the paper. No? Okay.
There's no paper at the end of this trail, buddy.
In a world
to me,
where...
this is like, I am not shocked that it exists.
In a world...
I'm just disappointed that it does.
I'm disappointed that it exists in the capacity that it exists in. Because in a world where therapy is becoming more accepted, right? And mental health is becoming a more understood and more accepted thing. I think something like Replica could have a benefit, right? Where if you combined it with like a Talkspace or a BetterHelp app, and you had an avatar for your therapist, even if it was like a chat bot, like you chatted and the bot responded with the therapist text in audio form, like I think that could be good, right? Like that could benefit some people. Or even, you know, having a pretend friend to text throughout the day that is actually your fucking therapist, that may be a placebo that some people need to exist in the normal run.
I get that, but the advertisement.
But
you throw that shit right up here.
Yeah.
The dude looking at the other girl meme. And the dude, the girlfriend said real people, and the one girl he was looking at said replica, and it had an avatar's face on it. And I saw that and I was like, this is some Fire Emblem shit.
It's not just Fire. I mean, they literally made a movie about it, right? Like the dude who started Vice. What was his name? What the fuck is his name? God damn it, Her. What is that movie, Her, where the dude falls in love with his AI assistant?
Oh,
we've been here. Hi.
There's been movies about this.
Why are we doing this? You know why? Because niggas can't resist themselves. You know? It's not me. What it is I haven't met the perfect girl yet. You know what I mean? Like, the planet is so vast, bro. Like, there's a billion broads out there, and I don't have the time because I'm too busy being like Elon Musk. You know what I mean? So like, I don't have the time to woo and ha 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 ha.
I got one question for you, bruh. If you're at a party with 8 people and you see a guitar in the corner, what do?
I don't pick it up. I pay somebody to play the fucking guitar because that's what I do. I'm the money man. You don't... Fuck. This guy doesn't know who he's talking to. Spike Jonze. That's who it was. Spike Jonze directed the movie where Joaquin Phoenix fell in love with his Google assistant. Joaquin. Don't look. I get that, you know, with the current climate, like anxiety inducing to talk to somebody that you find attractive. But what I need you guys to understand is that humans, I don't know, some people might even say biologically, are communal creatures. I know some of us at nature are introverts and stuff like that, you know, and it makes us anxious to be around mass groups of people, but you still need some kind of human contact.
We need human interaction so much, and even if it's a computer, that'll work too.
No, I don't think so. That's the opposite of my point. My point
I was being
was
facetious.
I don't fear the whole AI waifu incel movement takeover.
It's cringe.
No, I don't think so. Let them.
Fire Emblem is pretty fucking cringe.
Fair enough. They can be cringe, right? Because it's a new thing, right? Like, here's where I come in and play devil's advocate. Let them have it. If it makes them stop shooting up fucking schools, right? Let them fucking have it.
They can have Fire Emblem too.
I'm sorry. It's
God, that series is such trash now.
It's for the betterment of the community, yo.
I'm sorry, Fire Emblem.
Let them have their waifus.
You know what that means, though, right?
Doesn't it just mean
3 more Smash characters from Fire Emblem?
Oh, I thought you meant like literally what does the term waifu mean?
No. No. My DS asked me to blow into it.
Oh my god.
So I was playing.
That made me uncomfortable.
I know, right? Let me tell you. Let me tell you what new. It's bad, okay? And this is why Fire. This is why I talk about my like little niche Fire Emblem Twitter of like 4 people.
Yo, what the fuck?
So I was playing Fire Emblem Conquest. And Awakening was already weird enough because, you know, you had to, breed people to get the best army.
Did you say breed?
Yes.
Alright.
You had to make sure you had all of the people you wanted to, you know, min-max your stats of your children unit. You had to make sure that each people fell in love with the right people.
So now you're talking eugenics.
This is like the third time you've mentioned eugenics in the past 3 weeks. Everything's Nazi Germany. Alright, anyway.
Be on the lookout.
So, I was uncomfortable with that Fire Emblem. I'm like, this whole aspect is really weird, but it wasn't really thrown in your face. It was, but I mean, like, comparatively speaking to where we're going to. I played it because it was a Fire Emblem. It felt like a Fire Emblem when it wasn't on casual mode. So I'm playing Conquest. I'm like, okay, it's another Fire Emblem. It's after Awakening. I have hope. Maybe this is better. Okay, great. There's child units, so now I need to start pairing up again. Okay, my main character, you can get a super unit if you super enhance your relationship, and
what is it?
You have like this little town that you can build, and you get a house specifically for you and your waifu.
What does it take to super enhance a relationship?
I'm getting to that.
Oh, excuse me.
Like I said, you build your little town and you have your house with you and your waifu, and you have to like go check in and everything, just do whatever, and the waifu will talk to you. I walked into the house. The waifu said, "I just got out of the shower. Can you help me dry off?" The DS prompted me.
Wait. So is this like, so the more you talk about it, it sounds like The Sims, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not supposed to be like The Sims, right?
No, this is supposed to be a tactical combat game.
So, how did...
And I said,
okay.
She said she got out of the shower.
Right, okay.
Help her dry off. At that point, my DS prompted me. Blow into the microphone. You know what I did? Turned off the DS, closed it, never turned it on again. I sold it. I never fucking turned it on again.
It was the dirtiest thing my DS has ever asked me to do.
I was so uncomfortable when that happened. I'm like...
How old were you?
26. Oh, I'm sorry. 226.
Yo, all I'm saying is if my video game asked me to blow into it and it's not because the video game isn't working and the video game actually asked me to blow into it, I'm taking this shit back to GameStop, yo.
To help my waifu dry off. Because you know what? I really needed that child unit to have the best min-max stats.
You know what that reminds me of?
Pokemon?
No.
Nigga. And how dehumanizing it is?
No, nigga, them ads before porn videos that's like, play this game and it'll make you come in less than 30 seconds flat. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Ain't nothing ever made me come in 30 seconds flat, my nigga. What do you think I am, 12? I'm just saying, do you really think...
If it was how well, then I think that ends in therapy, dude.
So
let's not talk about the Catholic Church story after that. Yeah, that's why I don't play Fire Emblem anymore, though. That's also why I stay off of Fire Emblem Twitter.
That's what we were talking about.
Like the dominant Fire Emblem Twitter. Because you want to know what happened when they added waifu mode and casual mode?
So
filthy casuals came in.
Well, duh.
Filthy casuals came in.
That totally sounds like a
category. It's all like waifu people, and they're playing on casual, and they're just like, I just want to play for the story, and oh my god, let's ship this person with this shit person. Oh my god, I fucking hate new Fire Emblem fans. Yes, I'm gatekeepery as fuck. You want to know why?
He is this episode, isn't he? He's very gatekeeper.
You want to know why?
gatekeepery this episode. Anyway, why?
Because for some art to remain legitimate and authentic, it cannot be tainted.
First and foremost, you look like an ostrich.
I know.
Second of all, there is a little bit of beard on that neck.
Break!
Jalen, we didn't talk about this enough, but Mark Jackson on the broadcast of Game 3 said that Jeff Van Gundy was freestyling at lunch. Jeff Van Gundy has bars. When you see the great Jeff Van Gundy, can you please get him to freestyle for you?
He'll definitely freestyle for me. I got love for the notorious JVG. And
when was the last time you freestyled, Jalen Rose?
When he says freestyle, just so you know, we need to do a segment called Smitty and Hoppy. You know, Tommy the OG will appreciate where I'm going here. There were 2 cops on Sanford and Son, one black and one white. And when Fred Sanford would open up the door, the black cop would be talking in the language that Fred understood, and the white cop was doing just the opposite. So Fred would always have to look at the black cop to translate, right? Mm-hmm. So let's do that in this case. What's the case again? I'm good.
Jeff Van Gundy freestyling.
Well, sometimes I lose thought too when you're looking at your phone and you ain't selling me. That's what happens when you do a show with somebody.
It's my phone now. It's my phone now.
I'm just telling y'all how it works.
Oh, you're right. It's my fault.
I'm just telling y'all how it works.
It's my fault. You forgot what happened 10 seconds ago.
Like at the end of the bees, I said I don't need a ring to drink, but you didn't hear it because you was thinking about your read instead of being a 10-year veteran, taking the joke and doing your read. You see what I'm saying? It's a television podcast. We're legends at this. And so the gentleman drove back, now driving them. I put it out there as a salute to him.
Okay, you forgot what you were talking about. Let me tell you what you were about to say. When people say freestyle now, they don't mean freestyle.
Gotcha.
That's what you were about to say.
Okay,
because people use the term freestyle, like freestyle to me is you're making up lyrics in the moment.
Hit the brakes, Reg. This is the Smitty Hoppy moment I wanted to translate. Hope you enjoyed the last 2 minutes of comedy. So, all a white guy has to do is say a half a bar, and everybody else like, oh my God, invite him to the barbecue! Oh my God! That's like black people, we're so loving. Like, all y'all have to do is give us like a half a bar and wear an Outcast shirt and show us that y'all like Wu-Tang Clan. That's all y'all gotta do. It don't even matter what y'all do behind closed doors. Y'all can be part of the Proud Boys. That's all y'all gotta do.
He said Proud Boys.
That's all y'all gotta do. We'll love y'all forever. Y'all wanna get invited to the barbecue? There you go. I just gave you the blueprint.
The bar's real low for us.
Jeff Van Gundy says a Jay-Z line, and it's like, oh my God, he freestyling! Oh my God!
You know what? A lot of white people get invited to the barbecue, but not too many show up. I'll tell you that much. How have we not been canceled?
They probably working on it. We just don't know it. What do you mean?
Tell us.
They ain't sent you to the finals in 10 years. So each time before the finals, I'm like, all right, well, yeah, they're going to let us keep doing the show.
So Jalen Rose
ain't tell one lie.
His qualifications for the barbecue, you guys spit like half a bar.
No, it wasn't even qualifications for the barbecue. When you break it down, what Jalen Rose was really saying is for white people the bar for white people to qualify as an ally is so fucking low.
Real low.
All you gotta do is spit like half a bar
from show up in an Outcast shirt and say you like Wu-Tang Clan.
Big pimpin', you know. What was the him and Alicia Keys song? In New York.
Empire State of Mind.
Yeah.
You know the Bacon Pancakes Adventure Time version is way better.
Every time I bring up Empire State of Mind, you come in with the fucking bacon
pancakes, making bacon pancakes.
Yo. Take some bacon and you put them in a pancake. All I'm saying is Jalen Rose ain't tell not one fucking lie just now, bro. Not one. It's so real. Black people just want peace so bad, son. Hey, don't go past the mailboxes.
Well, we might be going down to what's-his-name house to get him outside. That's all.
Don't go past the mailboxes, bro. Close my door. Close my door.
I will.
This motherfucker did not slam my door just now.
Yeah. I thought personally he would close the door regardless.
He doesn't though. That's why I have to remind him. I promise you, I'm not on him like that for no reason. Yo, I would let him live. You know me. I would let him live if I could.
No, it's just the type of shit my mom does to me all the time. Like, they'll let shit fucking build up, and then it will become a huge deal. Literally, all they have to do is just tell me and be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. No,
like, I was hanging out with Periwinkle, and he called me out. He was like, "You walk in front of people like all the time." I'm like, I walk fast. I'm sorry. And he's just like, "I think it's just because you're inconsiderate of other people." And I'm like, "Huh? I never thought of that. Maybe you're right."
Damn.
I mean, it's fair.
Yo, Periwinkle was like, "Hey, yo, since we reading me all the time,
that's why I let it slide.
I want to say something."
That's why I let it. I tore his fucking love note apart with a highlighter.
I want to tell the people the thing. Hey, people, if you listening out there in the world, just know that it's gonna be okay. Right?
All the pretty girls in the world.
It's gonna be fine. You know, sometimes you just gotta, sometimes you gotta walk in front of a motherfucker. People be in your way, and you trying to get to a thing.
Daddy, baby, I got your money.
You try and get somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's
hey, Daddy,
you got money on the line, or it could be something important you try and get to, and
here I go. Deep tight flow. Jacques Cousteau could never get this slow.
Motherfuckers just walking in front of you, eating their bagels, scrolling through their Instagram feed or whatever. By the way, follow us. And it's like, you got places to be.
Yo. You know what I hear, right? I want to hear that Wu-Tang joke.
And you trying to...
You're a big asshole for not carrying on that.
You trying to reach your goals, and you trying to live your life to focus in the way you want to live it. And sometimes that means you got to push in front of a motherfucker, and you got to be like, yo, get out my way, G.
Look, you, the plane you flew in on, them shoes, your socks with the bell on it, your gay-ass accent, them cheap-ass cigars, your yuck-mouth teeth, your hairpiece, your chocolate, Guy Ritchie, Prince William, the Queen. This is America. Now get the out of my hotel room.
Hood, and when they look at you, you gotta be like...
When did you turn into Montel Jordan?
What?
No, it's not Montel Jordan. Who's the fucking... He's from Glen Burnie, too. Never mind. Continue. Anyway, Jalen Rose Barbecue. Your qualifications as Hood Pope.
Oh, I said
your expectations are very low.
No, it's not my expectations. I just feel like culturally the expectations are very low for what is considered an ally, right? As we were talking about with the Rachel Nichols thing, like, she showed her ass and was acting like she was really, standing the charge for the movement and everything.
As Mariah Rose so eloquently reminded us.
Right, but then when it came time to actually be a part of that movement and see the advancement of another black person, instead of her own advancement, she became disgruntled with the way the system was shaping out, not in her favor.
I feel bad right now. For the past 2 minutes, I've had Rosa Parks by Outkast stuck in my head.
And I just feel like...
Yeah.
he's not wrong when he said that, you know, all Jeff Van Gundy gotta do
spit half a Jay-Z bar
and everybody go fucking wild like fucking
I got love for Notorious JVG.
Mike Jones was trending the other fucking day on Twitter, and it was because some white guy in the middle of a fucking interview where this dude was legitimately asking these two black students.
Oh, by the way, I think Biz Markie died today.
Yes, rest in peace, Biz Markie.
Bowie legend. I feel like everybody I've ever met has a, yeah, I met Biz Markie at a liquor store story.
I like how you were like, I don't give a fuck about Mike Jones and why he was trending on Twitter the other day.
No, that just popped in my head.
Died. Nah,
Mike Jones was trending on Twitter the other day.
Biz Markie died, and that is totally a notable interjection because it is sad. You know, we are talking about
local legend. Also, that song will live forever.
It is top tier earworm.
Oh yeah,
totally.
Talk about self-aware fucking music.
Talk about cookout material.
Yeah. Oh baby, you.
It is a shame. In the same year, we have lost
DMX. Doom was technically next year, or last year.
Biz Markie. And Donald Trump is still alive.
2016, though, that was the year where they were dropping off like flies.
I feel you, but my whole point is that this orange motherfucker is out there making waves again, and COVID didn't get him. The IRS is looking to get him.
Yeah, we'll get into that once we finish reading the subpoena and a couple of more background information, but we will actually have intellectual real insight into that because we will have read the subpoena we will have read the indictment,
the flood, where we
read everything
things for you so you don't have to
come here for the paraphrase, stay for the drinks. And go to Token MTG in Edgewater, and if you tell them that we sent you, you'll get a free pack with your purchase. Pokemon, Flesh or Blood, MTG, Magic the Gathering. Hey, if you even get there on the right day, you might even see me there playing.
Can you believe it? Look, the Flood
officially
got a sponsorship.
Sponsored.
That's just to show y'all that
none of this is normal.
Look, it's a flood.
It's a flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Wait, why can't we talk about black stuff?